All right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another podcast episode with the Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV. I am your host, yours truly, back again, once again, here to sharing some news, man. Something that I just recently came across, some revelatory moments. All right. Now, there's always been this big debate about whether you should own a house, whether you should own a condo, whether you should lease the land or whatever. Like, if you're going to have a property in the Philippines, the best way to go about it. We've talked about this on a plethora of different videos, but today I want to basically give you a insight into something that has been brought to my attention courtesy of my father. All right. Basically, I'm going to tell you guys how the Philippines will sell you a condo as a foreigner, or if you are Filipino as well, and how they will finesse you to get it back from you. All right. Now, as many of you guys know, me and my father has a condo in Manila, right? Ermita Malate area. He's had that condo since the early part of the 2000s, maybe 2003, maybe even earlier than that. But ever since I've moved to the Philippines, he's already been a full owner of that particular condo. In the beginning, he thought that you would have to get credit and finance it through the bank and all of that shit. But when he found out that he could pay it all off and, it don't really there's no penalties or anything in advance, he just went on ahead and paid it off. That's not how they fuck you. Let me get to the point. All right. So as many of you guys know, when it comes down to condominiums, you have something known as HOAs, homeowners fees, right? Homeowner association dues or homeowner association fees, HOA. And that's standard regardless. For the rest of the natural existence of that condo, you have to pay HOAs, right? I think that's pretty fair. Many of you guys already know that. Everybody's like, Doc, let's get to the point. Here's where it gets shitty, all right? So, as many of you guys know, COVID hit, right? Pandemic fucked up everything. It also fucked up travel to the Philippines. Now, my father, being a very forward-thinking individual, whenever he pays his HOAs or his dues for the condo, he pays forward 1 year in advance, right? If you pay it a whole year in advance, you basically get like 1 month off, right? So it's kind of like a discount if you pay up front, right? So he was good at that. But I want you to imagine that he hasn't been to the Philippines since probably before 2019. Maybe 2019 he came, maybe early 2020, maybe. I doubt it, but at least 2019 he hasn't been back. So imagine what we got. We got the whole year of at least 2021, probably the majority, if not the whole year of 2020. So 2 years, his dues were pretty much overdue, right? So there's this thing that happens when you own a condo, wherein if you get behind on paying your HOA fees, they have these surcharges and what my father likes to refer to as fuck you fees that equate to about double your annual HOA fees, right? So if you ever get behind on paying your fees, you're fucked, okay? And I want you to understand this, right? It's not that he couldn't pay it. It's the fact that he couldn't get back to the Philippines in order to pay it. And it's not like we're just going to pretty much trust any old regular Joe or Fernando or Jane or whoever works at the fucking bank to actually take care of that for you. Right. I don't know you. These bank tellers change out frequently. People change branches. I don't know who I'm dealing with. So I am not going to send my money and pray that somebody pays these fees for me. So at this particular point in time, we'll just say that my father's 2 years behind, wherein he thought that he would have to pay just for the fees missing. We come to find out it's the fees that were missing times 2, right? And apparently there's no, what do you call it? There's no forgiveness, right? Like we have in the United States. There's no forgiveness of, oh, well, it's COVID, so okay, we forgive that, or oh, we'll lessen the penalties. No, ladies and gentlemen, we're dealing with the Philippines, y'all. We're dealing with the Philippines. Ain't no forgiveness. You don't pay. Guess what? You better pay if you want to continue owning this condo. And what will happen, and this is where the finesse happens, what will happen is if you get so far behind on your payments, they will reclaim the condo. If you get behind on the payments of your HOA fees and they equate to almost close to the value of the condo, or you get so far behind it's almost close to impossible for you to be able to pay it off, they can reclaim the condo. So in the Philippines, they'll sell you a condo, wait for you to fall behind so that they can reclaim it. So whatever little money that you put into that condo, guess what? All goes to shit. And imagine, this could happen at any given moment in time, y'all. This can happen to you at any given moment in time. They can take this condo at any given moment in time if you fall so far behind on your payments. Now, a lot of you will be like, Doc, man, come on, bro. We know that. And or you'll say some shit like, man, I ain't gonna never fall behind. Hell, my father didn't believe that he would fall behind either, did he? He didn't believe he would fall behind, but COVID happened and he couldn't travel back. And who do you trust to send money to take care of business, right? So guess what? You either bite the bullet, pay the fees, or you lose the condo. Now you got two options. And my father don't come up off that condo for nothing. You know, he ain't gonna come up off of it for nothing. So whatever the fees are, he gonna have to pay. I hope he doesn't mind me divulging how much money he has to pay in behind dues. I pray he don't get mad at me for saying it, but it's close to 8,000 US dollars. If not 8 grand, it's about 8,000 US dollars. Annual fees are usually about, we'll say, close to about $1,000 a year for the condo that he owns now. So I want to say he was at least behind almost 3 years. I want to believe. So we'll say about 3,500, including whatever little regular fees would be entailed with that. 3,500 times at least 2 because of these FU fees that have equated over the fact of being behind over a year or so. So yeah, he's looking at about 7 to 8 grand USD. Is it worth it? You bet your ass. Because the value of that condo far exceeds that. You feel me? But I want you to at least understand that this could be something that you foreigners might have to deal with if you choose to go the condo route. This could potentially plague you as a foreigner if you choose to go this route. I pray that this never happens to you. I pray that you never go through a situation where you fall behind on these fees to the point where they're going to charge you double. And the fact that you got to pay double for useless shit, something that you didn't even cause. It's not even his fault. But guess what? It don't matter whose fault it is. Are you going to pay it or not? If you don't pay it, guess who owns it? Guess it goes back to the home or who owns it? Robinsons, I guess. Because my dad didn't, finance it through the bank or anything. So he's an outright owner. But it'll probably go back to the owners of the building, Robinsons. Okay, so gentlemen, I don't know if this video comes in handy at all. I hope you've never experienced this. I hope you've never dealt with anybody who's ever experienced this one. But anybody who's ever known somebody who's experienced this, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. Are you still into the condo route? Do you want to buy a house, lease the lot, do the container buildings? Let me know where your mind is after hearing this potentially startling effed up scenario that could potentially plague us as foreigners looking to live in the Philippines long term. All right. Appreciate y'all locking in. You know what time it is. It's been a good doc. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out all my good stuff in the description area below. This has been your boy, the Good Doc, Dr. Mike TV. With that being said, Good Doc is officially out. Aalis na ko paalam, which means I am going now. Bye-bye. As always, love you guys. Sincerely do. Mahal kita. Mabuhay. Peace.